going on, people? This your boy, DJ, part of NFC South versus NFL. I am your Tampa Bay Buccaneers representative, but overall, I love football in the NFL, and I talks all NFL. I'm here with my boy, Mike.
What's going on, DJ, man? It's here, boy. It's here, fam. We got football. It's time to talk. It's time to get into this NFC South. Hey, man. Hey, tomorrow is a week away from the Hall of Fame game. That's crazy.
Let's go, baby.
Man,
Football,
look.
man, this like period of like dead time, fake news, just that shit be some bull-ish. What's going on, Buck Skull? Gang in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Popping bullets. My man always in the building.
What's good? Popping bullets. Shout out Twan Down with the popping bullets. Let's go.
Yes. Started off from the jump, my guy. Off the jump. Julio's back in the NFC South.
Yeah.
It ain't with the Atlanta Falcons, though. It's with the NFC leading champs. NFC leading champ, baby. That's a smart man right there.
Hey, man, can the rich get richer? Can the rich get richer?
Well, apparently.
My goodness. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna talk about some things going on in the South. And I feel okay even with Julio being on y'all roster. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna hold that thought, that pause. But that's a big pickup, DJ. That's a big pickup.
Huge pickup. Obviously, coming from Tennessee. I think he only played about 7 to 10 games, something like that.
Yeah.
Had a little injury. The year before that, I think he played only 3 with the Atlanta Falcons. So, he had a little injury bug, to say the least. But you posted back to that 2019 season. He had a hell of a year. I think he had 1,300, 1,400 yards, something like that. Just normal Julio Jones, probably no touchdowns.
There you go.
A couple touchdowns. But, listen to Julio as presser, he sounds like he feels like he's back at that Julio, which, from a Bucs standpoint, feels good, especially with Godwin, and hopefully he's going the right direction. It's looking like he is. Obviously, he's not on the PUP list. He was cleared to start. I know we're not getting too much in the Bucs stuff, but because we're talking about Julio, we're talking about the wide receiver position. It just got deep. He's back with his boy Russell Gage. Russell Gage probably like, I had 3. Now I moved that to 4 now. God damn it. Just move him back. God damn. But yeah, I mean the top 4. I mean, arguably best in the NFL.
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah. I would say, man, he went on a run. Him and AB went on a run, 1A and 1B for many years. Is he at that same production? No. But is he still a threat? Absolutely. You got to find out and remember, we got to always recognize where he's at on the football field. So that's dynamic for a team that already has a lot of weapons that you got to pay attention to, guys. So, But I will say this about Julio, man. When he was getting out of Atlanta and he was speaking, he wanted to win. You can hear it all in his voice. That's all he communicated. That's all he said was he wanted to win. He got tired of being in Tennessee. That's right. He got tired of being in a situation where they kept losing. And he had that taste of a Super Bowl back in 2016. So he went to Tennessee to go to a playoff team, like you said, DJ. And it just didn't work out for him. Now he's in a position where he doesn't have to be the 1. He doesn't have to be the 2. Doggone it, he's 3, could possibly be 4. It depends on what they do. But Tom is going to demand your best. And so he's going to put his best foot forward. He's going to go out here and work hard. I don't think there's ever been an issue with Julio as far as work and staying in shape and all that type of thing. It's just an injury bug. Great pickup, DJ. I mean, I don't know anybody, and everybody was talking about the Saints this, Saints that, Saints this, Saints that. You know what I'm saying? Saints had the best receiver. I was one of them. Can't say that no more.
Nah, you can't. You can't. And like you said, the rich keep getting richer. Obviously, we added Kyle Rudolph, you can't replace the man, Rob Gronkowski, but, you still got, let's say, a poor man version who's very motivated, and happy to be here. Still a good player, I think. He played with Daniel Jones last year. He's going from Daniel Jones to Tom Brady. So I think that's going to help him in production. Obviously, like I said, he's not the beginning of his career either, right? I mean, he's definitely still in a good place where he still has a lot of athleticism. He can block. He's going to add a lot of veteran leadership into that locker room as well. You got Cam Braid. You got Kate Odom, whatever his name is, Atan, and Cole Keith. You added around the weapons. It just, like Mike just said, it just continuously rich gets richer. And as a Bucs fan, you can't be more happy going into the offseason. We're going to get more into it, but we definitely got to get Julio.
I think we should go right on ahead and start.
Go ahead and start going into it.
Man.
All right.
So we got battles with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This camp is here. Every team is in camp now. I know we have teams.
Every team in the NFL.
Right. Every team in the NFL is in camp now. They reported everybody was here at least yesterday. So we were the delayed group to get everybody there. Our rookies, everybody. So DJ said we wanted to be funny. But since everybody's here, we're going to touch on everybody's camp and just see a little battles, things we're going to look out for, things that are being talked about in the fan base. And, we want y'all to plug in and chat and talk and ride this ride with us, man.
So let's take a little bit of that to start off. Let's hit the little chat a little bit.
Yeah, let's hit the chat. So, let's talk a little bit about Scotty Miller.
We're going to get there. Where we at?
We'll hold it.
Let's go from the top. Let's go from the top. Papa Bull's good, my man. Like I said, Bucs Skull Gang in the house. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on? No, I am not from Tampa. I'm a family down there. I've been a Bucs fan, since like about 98, I would say, 98, 99. I'm going to pull up the picture. I got the picture in my phone of me with my Bucs jersey when I was like 12 or whatever the case may be. I was a little pudgy. I started getting a little pudgy around that time. I had a Warwick Dunn jersey on, and that's when I really started to become like a big Bucs fan. And it's been carrying on ever since, man. I've just fell in love with this team, good, bad, or indifferent. I've been here, did my research of going back to 87. Maybe one day I might just, talk about my experience and what I know about this team and how, my fandom. But not on this one, but yes, this is my team.
Shout out to Dallas Leggett, man. What's up with you? Keep pounding. Salute
Dallas. To okay.
Shout out to everybody out here, man.
What Panthers quarterback camp, man. We're gonna get into that camp, man. Mr. Baker starting 1 for 4. I saw that.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
fire them cannons.
Yep, fire them cannons. Russell Gage, another Falcon. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Plus Scotty Miller. Hey, I'm gonna say this right now before we even get started. If you watch my Twitter, like I said, I'm gonna be active now. They put up a picture from CBS. I probably should have put it on here. They put all the weapons from Julio Jones, Kyle Rudolph, Leonard Fournette. They added Scotty Miller in that picture. I said, what? They put an X through that. Scotty Miller is on the chopping block. He has to have a huge offseason to stay with this team. A huge offseason. I mean, because you still got Tyler Johnson. You got Jalen Darden, who's been getting rave reviews. You got Devin Tompkins, who's already been mentioned by the head coach as a player he's very excited to watch. And you also got that kid Stearns that got hurt. I didn't get to really see him much, but there's also been a lot of rave reviews about him too. I'm very excited to see him. Look, this wide receiver room is deep. It's deep. So that back end of that roster, you got to earn it through special teams. And you better show out of why you should still be here. Scotty Miller's in the contract year. This is the year he has to show out, which, like I said, I'm very not really optimistic. I think he's a one-trick pony. I ain't got no problem with Scotty Miller. I like him. He's done some good things with us. But, yeah, I think he's going to be a player to watch on that chopping block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, let's get that as a position of battle. We knew going in before all the Julio talk, this and that. We knew it was going to be Michael Evans, Chris Godwin, and we knew Russell Gage. They brought him in, paid him, and he was going to be more likely that number 3. But it was going to be a dogfight for those last 3 spots, and it's still a dogfight. It just got tougher. That room just got more crowded.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's only 2 spots. So those last 2 spots, like DJ said, you're going to have to impact quite a bit on special teams, more than likely to make that roster. So Jalen Darden is a guy I'm interested to see. Bashar Perriman is another guy that's been
Right.
around. We'll see what happens with that. We know we got Tyler Johnson. This is year 3-4 for him. So maybe he'll step up and have something going on there. Of course, we mentioned Scotty Miller, the Tompkins kid you talked about, Cyril Grayson, who made some plays, made a play or two, last year. So this is going to be a very, very deep competition, and it's why it's one of my battles that I'm going to pay attention to, not the top 4 spots, but those latter parts. I want to mention this about Scotty Miller, DJ, and I'm going to let you plug in. Scotty Miller, let's think about Tom Brady. Tom Brady has always had a smaller white receiver. I don't care what y'all say. He's had a smaller white receiver for his success. Don't be trying to act up internet and freeze and act a little crazy. Hopefully y'all got all of that. They don't want me to say they're trying to monitor me what I'm saying. Tom Brady has always had a smaller white receiver. Now, I get it. He's not like those other guys, DJ. He's not like Edelman. He's not like Eckler. He's not like Amendola. He's not like all those other guys in the past. I understand that. But it's something about having that. Tom, I don't know what it is. So you're just going to take his psyche away and he's just going to throw to all brothers? Except Kyle Rudolph at the tight end?
No. Hey, man. I mean, this man has moved to Florida. He ain't up there in Boston. He ain't in Boston no more. You know what I'm saying? He ain't worried about that type of stuff. But yes, you're right. He usually does have that. And Scotty Miller was kind of like the graduation of Tom Brady because normally he has a shifty little, like you say, receiver.
Right.
Now he got a straight line John Brown type receiver. He like, you know what? He's moving away from all that. Just like, being down in Tampa. You know what I'm saying? It's a different Tom everything. Tom is extending his career because he's in Florida right now. That's one of the main reasons why his career is being extended. And he loves what he got around him. And like you said, that's why Jalen Darden is the shifty guy on the team. Yeah. He is the punt returner and the kick returner. That's why he's going to be the one that's going to get challenged by these 2 young kids, Jared Stearns and Devin Tompkins. So Jalen Darden got to show that he has, because basically reports came out, is that he had problems learning that playbook. You know what I'm saying? So but they're saying this year he looks like he's a lot faster because he understanding. Look, they always talk about it, right? Everybody learns differently. Apparently, Jalen Darden is definitely one of those people that learn very differently, and that's why he had a lot of struggles with breaking that lineup last year. That's why he ended up playing special teams. And like I said, it's gonna be a fight. I mean, like I said, there's so many names here that when they get cut, people are going to be running for these teams. Like they're gonna go after these wide receivers. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be at least on somebody's active roster because there's some good players here. I mean, like you said, Bashar Perriman, Cyril Grayson. I mean, these are guys that played, meaningful time last year when AB was out, when Chris Godwin went out, they're not going nowhere. And, Bashar Perriman had to play the day-to-day. Him and Tom Brady connected on a long bomb. You know what I'm saying? Hey, every rep counts for these wide receivers. Yes, with this team. Not many teams can really say that. Every rep counts, even for people that have been here for as long as Scotty Miller and all of them been here. So, like you said, Mike, it's going to be fun to watch. This is one exciting position to watch for the Bucs.
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about him, Trill. Shout out to my boy Trill One, man.
Trill was good, my guy.
Shout out to you, man. Yeah, we were just talking about Mr. Hamstring, Mr. Injury, Mr. Take Plays Off. Mr. I get high yards with no touchdowns. Mr. Mr. I drop a pass in the end zone in Bank of America Stadium.
Oh boy. He back. He going to Bank of America, baby. He going to Mercedes Benz. He going down to Voodoo. New Orleans. That's Mercedes Benz too, ain't it? I don't think I like the same stadium. Atlanta and
that's the something dome.
Atlanta Dome or whatever,
No, it's Mercedes Benz. I don't Superdome.
Yeah, whatever. But he's back where he's comfortable, and he can't wait to get after. I bet all these teams. And I posted. This man already said he on the Go Bucs train and everything. He already moved on from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He could have just, that's tough in division.
Yeah, he want
Ring of honor with the Atlanta one day.
He want that ring bad, man. You get that.
Do that?
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. So we touched on it. Let's move on to the next battle that I'm very interested to touch on. It was my top battle for Tampa Bay this year, and shout out to Bucs Skull Gang in the house for mentioning it. It is the running back position. This here is the deepest running back, I would say, tandem committee core that Tampa has had probably in the last 4 years. Wait, what you talking about? I'm saying,
man, I ain't say nothing, man. Go ahead.
There you go. Since they had Mighty Mouse and a few options in, and they were able to have a running game then. But you got Leonard Fournette, who was a top first round pick. Giovanni Bernard, who is a solid running back who had success in this league. Keyshawn Vaughn, another guy that you drafted in the third round that you're gonna say, hey, what are you going to do? He got improved. I mean, he improved at the end of the season. I saw some things in him that are like, okay. And then you draft another guy by the name of Rashad White. And then Rashad White. Yeah, White.
Rashad White.
That's going to light a fire under Vaughn. Vaughn is very good when it comes to pass protection and doing things like that. He just got to kind of work on those other things. And we'll see. Usually rookies have a hard time with the pass protection. But if Rashad White can get that down rather quickly, dude, he's fighting for that top spot for me.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think he's going to push Leonard Fournette. I mean, I think that's, if Leonard Fournette indeed was 260 when he came to OTAs, I guarantee he's down at 240 right now because he knows there's a young, hungry, legit competition behind him that he got $7 million, but let's be honest, Leonard Fournette is a football player. He's LSU, UW, all that good stuff. He competes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to lose his spot, especially as no rookie. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to bring the best out of Leonard Fournette. We might get the 2016 Leonard Fournette. All I know is 17 when they were about a play away from beating Tom Brady's Patriots and going to the Super Bowl. You might get that Leonard Fournette back. I think that's what many of us want. And this is basically the running back room. It's going to be a competition, I think, of maybe one might get cut, but yeah, it's going to be a fight. And that number one spot is definitely up for grabs because Todd Bowles ain't playing no games. You ain't entitled to nothing. You have your money, but you gonna have to earn this.
Facts. Poppin', we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get there. We getting all around. We going all around the South. We just happen to start off with this because of Julio. And let's run through this with Tampa Bay. There is some interesting things going on in the South that I definitely want to get into. I guess another battle to look out for is that left guard position between Aaron Stinney and Luke Gordecki. Look out for that. I think basically, for the most part, on offense, I think those are the biggest ones. Wide receiver, running back, and that left guard position. You go on defense. I think it's the safety position is the biggest position to watch in regards to who going to win it. Mike Edwards, obviously Jordan Whitehead left in free agency. He's now with the Jets. He left a nice little spot to be filled by, we thought, Mike Edwards. Obviously, we picked up Keanu Neal through the free agency, along with Logan Ryan, that can also swing from cornerback to safety. So that's going to be a battle. That's going to be something we got to watch. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? What else you got, Mike?
Yeah, that's something I'm willing. I really want to watch too, because I think it's going to be close, tough. Mike Edwards knows the system. Keanu Neal's a first-round draft pick, so I do think that these guys can pick up the slack from Whitehead. Whitehead wasn't that great in coverage, even though I felt like he started to get slightly better last year. He would come down and thump you. Keanu Neal will hit you too. So we'll see, man. I think this could be a good replacement, man. What else do I have? Oh, the cornerback room, man. I think we talked about this, DJ, to be able to bring
contract players out here.
Yeah, to be able to bring in a guy like Logan Ryan, that's a veteran presence in that secondary that has had success. You also have Carlton Davis, who re-signed. You got Sean Murphy-Bunting and Jamel Dean, both in contract years. You got your what's the young boy?
Zion McCullough.
McCullough, yes, the rookie that's coming in. You got Ross Cockwell that has experience. These are
been here. Yep.
Yeah.
Delaney, he's been here. These are corners that are fighting for jobs. This roster is very deep. We can all we could debate no matter what. This is one of the best teams in the NFL, and this roster is deep. They're going to be making some hard decisions this camp with this team. And I mean, these players are going to go other places and actually play. So you're going to get a lot of great play, I think, out these players because a lot of them know they might not be here, but they know they can make another roster because this roster is just that damn good. And yes, Bucs skull game going in. Our rookie punter, Jake, what is it? Camarda, but the guy out of Georgia, replaced Pinion, who is now with Atlanta, is it?
That's exactly what
it's Atlanta. Yeah, he's now going to Atlanta. So, yes, but that's basically what we got with this team. I'm very excited to watch. Another thing, watch the edge rushers. You obviously got Andre Anthony, 7th round pick. Elijah Ponder, somebody I was very high on last year. Didn't understand the cut. Logan Hall, 1st round pick. Man, we got, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mike, this team is deep, man. This team is deep. We can go all day with this. This team is deep.
Yeah, I'll say, man, the Kings, Nick Hicks.
I ain't mention him.
You know what I'm saying? That was huge, losing to Ndamukong Suh. I mean, everything has been replaced, tooled, retweaked. And you got some younger guys, some more hungrier guys. Julio wants a ring before he goes out, so I don't think he's going to be deep with Julio. I think he's going to be focused. Yeah, great. Kudos to Tampa, man. That's going to be a hard team.
It's a great team right here, man.
Yeah, this going to be a hard team.
No excuses here.
It's going to be a hard team. I'm interested to see what this the replacement of some of the line players are going to be. So I'm glad we called that out. And also, these are my camp guys that I'm going to watch specifically. Logan Hall, Joe Tryon. I want to watch them just for my understanding of who they are. I want to see them in the league. Also, I'm going to keep a close eye on Todd Bowles as a head coach. It's something that I don't think we should ignore just because he's been there and he, truth be told, he was the MVP of the Super Bowl, but that's another discussion. Him in the head coach role, we got to see what he's going to do. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference. If anything, a lot of people say it could be better. I'm all for it. I want to check it out and see. So that's something I'm going to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. But, yeah, anything else we got about that? Yes, we talked about Leonard Fournette job on the line. Carolina Panthers. We gonna talk Carolina Panthers. Best believe. Because, I mean, Carolina's everywhere. Mike made this very clear. I hate his owner. I tell you, Mike know that for a fact. I do not like his owner, but he's 100% correct. Him getting Baker Mayfield has put you out on the forefront of many NFL talking places. I mean, you go anywhere, Baker's picture, Panthers this, Panthers that. For a 5-11 consecutively twice in a row team, these motherfuckers is talked about right now. It's just
Yeah. We talked about in a
Super
kind of a good
bust.
Yeah, it is Super Bowl or bust. We are being talked about it. I mean, it's fair, man. You got to think, when does this happen? You get a quarterback that was drafted, 2 quarterbacks drafted in the same year that were both in the top 3. One number 1, one number 3.
Let's get into it.
Well, yeah, let's get into it.
That's what
I was about to do anyway. Let's go ahead and go to Carolina,
man. We're going to get the Saints. We're going to get the Falcons. Hey, we're going to get everything because we've been watching everything. Everything's up. It's on popping. It's popping bullets. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? There you go.
Right. So look. All right. Whoa. Well, we're going to talk about this too. It says the Panthers missing piece. Oh, Panthers missing pieces with Baker. Or is that the Panthers missing piece is Baker? I think it might be Baker. So let's get into the Carolina Panthers game. Everybody knows what the top competition, top battle, whatever it might be. It seems like it's the top battle in the NFL, not just in Carolina.
It does feel that.
Quarterback is a position that runs the NFL right now, right? It's the most dominant, most important position in the NFL. And it's something we haven't gotten right. So to have these guys in here, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Matt Corral, P.J. Walker, I think P.J.'s done. I'm going to give you I think he's done. I think it's a lost hope for him. Unless somebody claims him, he may be able to get on the practice squad. But it's not a 4 quarterback competition. It's a 3 and really a 2. And that's between Sam and Baker. Matt Corral's going to give everything he can possibly give. I hope he come out there and surprise people and be like Russell Wilson. Who knows? But I think it's more 2 than definitely 4. But I love it. I think it's a great competition, man. So it should bring out the best in both of them. And from what it sounds like, Sam Darnold was looking pretty daggone sharp and darting things.
I saw that.
Sam Darnold had he been sitting back quiet, letting everybody talk.
Yeah, Baker at the soccer games, shaking hands and stuff like that. Sam just out here working.
Getting a head start on the playbook.
Yep.
Linking up with C-Mac, because that's they C-Mac talk highly about him. So hold on. So C-Mac talk highly about him. So I don't know. I just think he's been putting in the work. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as what people think it's going to be for Baker to come right in and just take this job. I don't care if we're playing Cleveland and the media and all this and that just seems Baker. If Sam is going to give us the best option to win, Sam's going to be out there. And
if Sam wants to be a starter, you're going to get the best of Sam, period. I mean, like you said, Mike, before, y'all spent a bunch of money to get, or a bunch of draft capital to get here. So what did that make Sam very what? Privileged when he got here. And you guys basically put your arms around him, make him feel good. He ain't feeling that this year. He ain't. No. Baker's in here, the number one. I mean, the player that was drafted ahead of him in that same draft, man. I mean, the headline. I get the headlines with this. I mean, I get it. I mean, the NFL you don't see this in the NFL. This is like unforeseen territory. Right. 2 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5. Top 5, Mike.
Yeah.
On the same team and on their 5th year, final, year of their contract. That is unheard of. Even before they got 5th year options.
Right.
Crazy. You continue. I just wanted to make like, oh man, that's crazy.
It's unheard of, and I love Matt Corral. I want to throw Matt Corral into this, and I'm not there, so I didn't see what he did. But Matt Corral, first one on the football field. Matt Corral's like, I get it. I'm not about to be here and sit. I know they want me to sit and learn, and I'm all good with learning, but I'm here to compete and win the job. I don't care nothing about no damn Baker and no Sam. I'm about to go out here and do what I do best. I compete. I'm big. I'm strong. I'm athletic. I know what I'm doing. All I had to do was just submerge myself into the playbook. And if he did that, which it seems
no pressure.
Right.
There's no pressure. All the pressure is the 2 people in front of him.
That's right.
He can go out there and play free. If he F up, it don't even matter because he's only a rookie.
Yeah.
Play fast. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you play fast, normally good things come out of it. And that's what coaches really realize. So, like I said, Matt Corral got nothing to lose at all.
Nothing. So it's going to be fun to watch, man. So Baker had the interception
right.
of the day.
He made that very clear.
I know. And then everybody going crazy. Oh, you had the first interception practice.
Started 1 for 4 coming out. It was a clear disconnect between him and the receivers, which is to be expected. This man hasn't done really nothing with the receivers yet, but it's Baker. I told you, Mike, no matter what, it doesn't matter. Baker has to come out here and show out, and people want that to happen, and it has to happen for him.
Well, from what I was told from somebody from Cleveland, a beat writer, somebody that's gone to the camps, did all of that, fan for many, many years, that Baker was never, oh my God, in camp. It was kind of like, well, he had some struggles. But then it came to the game and he performed better than what he would during the camp. I don't know if he was trying more, trying to see what he can get away with. I don't know. I haven't followed him long enough. So I think people may need to tailor their expectations of Baker Mayfield coming into this camp. DJ has said it multiple times since we've gotten Baker, or even before we got Baker, even with the conversation going on, that it's not much time for him to learn the playbook, get familiar with the team, get familiar with the coaching and how everything is ran and operated, for him to just come right out here and hit the ground running and think that he's going to give us the best chance to win. when we got a guy here that's drafted 2 picks after him, that's been here and knows these players and have been here a little longer to get the playbook and what McAdoo wants to do. Well, who would more than likely give us the best chance to win? You would think Sam, because he should have the upper hand. So if Baker's not starting week 1, don't have your panties in the bunch.
Oh, and I think it's real. I think people are really underestimating Sam Darnold. And, there's been little keys that people are kind of throwing out the window because it's just, everybody loves Baker, right? You got to realize Ben McAdoo never really liked Baker Mayfield.
Bingo.
The capital that they spent to get a quarterback here was on Sam Darnold. He's already been here. He's been here during OTAs. He's been here since Ben McAdoo has been hired. Sam Darnold has been here. What's more, and once again, Ben McAdoo has been an NFL coordinator for a while now. Yeah. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get Sam Darnold to be like, look, we bought the guy from your draft that's already been to the playoffs. You ain't winning this year. And they're trying, I think, at the end of the day, and where is C-Mac at? He's your captain.
Right.
He's with Sam Darnold. He wasn't with Baker Mayfield.
Bingo.
I mean, come on, man. We got to pay attention to some of these crumbs that's being dropped on the ground with this quarterback competition. Like I said, it's so intriguing with this because the national media is going to continue to push Baker because guess what? The best matchup for week 1 is Baker versus the Cleveland Browns. Matt Rule can't afford to put a player out there just because the NFL wants that to be the matchup. He can't.
Nope.
Mike already talked about it. If they hit the ground running, your schedule looks very favorable for y'all to come out the gates running. And if Baker does not give you that best option, Baker, you're staying on the bench until Sam shows us otherwise. And you can continue learning this playbook and maybe get out here and show what you got before probably both of y'all are going to be out of here. Matt Crow going to take it over next year. But anyway, that's another talking point altogether.
It sure is, and we'll get to that, but that's a great point. But I think you're right, man. They're even paying Baker like a backup. They're paying him like a backup. He's making $5 million from us.
Probably another reason why they want to take that whole contract.
Absolutely. And then his incentives, it got to be something crazy in order, and the way it looks, it might take him some time. I know Baker has a quick, where he can reference plays and learn a playbook and be able to recite. I know he studies hard. He has one of those photographic memories, I guess, they kept talking about. But continuity is so important. And with the quick turnaround that we have to be able to play September, 11th or something like that, I don't know if it's worth the risk of having Baker just to try to sell tickets, because this team needs to win. If you win, you will sell tickets. Forget the name, forget all of that. This team needs to turn things around and win. And you do that by putting the best player out there who has the best continuity with the team. And it appears, I could be wrong, it appears that it's more likely going to be Sam because Baker just doesn't have enough time.
That was my whole thing when we first brought him in. It was the time. I mean, no matter how you feel about Baker one way or another, me and Mike are split about Baker. But, the main issue that I had that I kept on honing home is this man is coming right before training camp. He ain't have no OT. Like I said, he didn't really get throw any passes. And the first thing he did when he got here, like I said, he went to a soccer game. And I get it. He's a community guy. That's something I think about Baker. That's why everybody loves Baker, right? He's definitely somebody that embraces the place that he's at. And he did the same thing coming to the Carolina Panthers. And, cool. But Baker, you need to realize that you need to come here and work. Your first thing should have been calling all your receivers and getting just practice. Get over to Baker America, that back area where they'll be practicing shit, and just start running some routes with them. Because the first day of training camp, everything's on the line. If you don't it don't matter if you have continuity or not. Matt Rule, Ben, all of them, they can't afford to make excuses for you, even if you don't have the time to do it.
Right.
Baker.
And the crazy part is Sam is handling this thing so professional, dog. Like
He
he
knows his
reached
upper hand.
right.
He knows that.
Yeah, he reached out to Baker. Okay, cool. You know this and that. Welcome you. I'm not gonna be this and that. They're interviewing him, asking him all kind of Baker questions, this and that. Sam ain't even breaking a sweat.
No
Handling it
pressure
like
on him again.
right.
Who's the starter? Who is everybody naming the starter? Even though, like I said, I came on here on some dumb shit too. Baker. That's what everybody is, echoing Baker. But when you start looking at the little breadcrumbs and really paying attention to what this really looks like, Baker, you might be chilling for, at least the beginning of this season. But we still got, look, we got, oh my God, we a week away from fucking preseason games.
Yeah.
And y'all should be on national. They need the, what they do with the game, they need the movie I gave out there.
We got a Patriots game week 2 that's going to be on NFL Network.
Shoot, y'all first week 1 going to be on there. I watch. they gonna move y'all game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So everybody knows that's the competition. I'm telling you, it's competition all throughout this daggone football team, man. Everywhere. Offensive line, I'm not gonna get there. DJ and I went through the offensive line briefly, and I had it as a competition, but it's really not. It's really just that left guard position, and if Brady Christensen is going to take it, is Michael Jordan going to take it, if Dennis Daly going to take it, it all depends on who's going to take that spot. But that left tackle, right tackle, Icky, Moton, Corbin, and it looks like Bozeman, even though Pat Eifline was starting today, it was more likely going to be Bozeman. Those are solidified.
Yep. But the one thing on offense that we got to mention, that wide receiver room. Just like us. I think this is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this is league wide. Wide receivers is becoming the new running back dime a dozen. I'm sorry, I hate to call it that way, but it is. There's so many receivers that, hell, look at all the receivers that came out of this damn draft. You got undrafted players that can be better than some of the drafted wide receivers. There's so many.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But the big competition is definitely. Go ahead.
We got a few of them, man. We always got DJ Moore, who's the solidified number one. That's no question about it. I'm gonna sit here and say a lot of people are starting to sway a little differently, but I don't think it's a competition really for 2, except Terrence Marshall gonna be ready for. He gonna be ready to compete for that second spot. I don't think he's already third slotted. But I think he wants to be number 2.
So LSU boy.
Yeah. So
talk about them dogs up there.
Yeah. So he's definitely gonna compete. We got I mentioned Terrence Marshall. We got Andre Roberts, our special teams ace. He's gonna be punt return, kick return, start that type. Yep, that's exactly what he's gonna be. Which he can be a receiver. He's made some plays. So we talked about Tampa and that finding those last spots as a receiver. You got to be able to perform on special teams. So a guy like Andre Roberts, to me, could potentially push away Brandon Zylstra or potentially Shai Smith, because if Shai can't get on special teams and do what he need to do and quit messing with – anyway, I ain't going there.
Stay off the weed.
Then shot. I don't know, because you got Higgins. You got Higgins that's there that already has a relationship with Baker, and
I think Baker's going to lean on him like a mug during the preseason game. So I don't think he has a problem being the second quarterback to come out, because along with him is going to come Rashad Higgins.
Right.
So that's something also to watch with that.
Yeah, so it's good, and we got some undrafted guys, kind of like DJ talked about. Rambo from Miami. Another guy that can potentially help on special teams and do some things like that. CJ Sanders is a guy I really like. I don't think he's going to make the team, but he's a guy that can be that shifty white boy for Tampa. But I like him a lot.
He might be on our practice squad getting ready just in case something happens.
He might be. He might end up being. But yeah, the wide receiver is definitely going to be something that's going to be to watch. And the running back too. Just the running back 2 position, I think, is between Chuba and Foreman. That's it. The running back 2. I think those 2 are fighting for number 2.
All right.
I got a little bit. We're going to get on the defensive end, and then we're going to move on. Edge. I think there's going to be some competition because we did lose our leading sack guy, Hassan Riddick. So we got to replace him in his production from somewhere. We got Yatir Gross Matos, a guy that needs to step up. He plays well. It's just, can he stay healthy? He's always been hurt. So it's year 3, dog. It's year 3. So it's time to step up and see what you got. Marquise Haynes is always flashed and shown up, especially in preseason. He's had some opportunity in regular season games and made some plays as well. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. We got Frankie Luvu, who is a guy that's going to play a lot of outside linebacker for us, but also a pass rusher. I personally think he's a better pass rusher than linebacker, but we're going to have to see how that plays out. Daryl Johnson, a name to kind of watch out for. North Carolina A&T boys. Salute Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
I wanted to throw him out there. He's a guy that we can kind of watch in camp and look on the lookout to see if we can sign Carlos Dunlap. It seems like he would be a perfect fit of a veteran to bring into this locker room to breed even more competition.
I saw he was doing a couple of other visits, so he's definitely probably going to figure out what he wants to do pretty soon.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think the linebacker, like you kind of highlighted, is going to be the one thing on defense to really watch out for. I think getting Kamal Martin, which was very interesting. I had to bring this to Mike's attention because it was somebody I was watching out the draft about 2 years ago when Green Bay ended up picking him up. He got released by Green Bay.
Listen, Panther fans, listen.
He's a 4-5 guy, came out of Minnesota. He got drafted in the 5th round by by Green Bay. Flash, looked pretty good, but he got hurt. Didn't play a lot of games. Green Bay liked him, but they were just a little too deep, and they ended up releasing him, which was a very surprise. And if you went to Green Bay, they were very surprised by that move of releasing him because they liked what he saw. I mean, he's a second-year player on y'all team with a lot of upside that y'all, look, this is a player that y'all need to watch. I know y'all excited about Brandon Smith in y'all locker room. Obviously, like he already mentioned, Corey Littleton, if you said him, he's already there. Yep. You got Damian Wilson and Shaq Thompson. Those are kind of your quote unquote starters right now. But special teams wise, like I said, Kamal Smith, that's a young player. Kamal Martin, young player. Brandon Smith, these players that can sit behind what's already going to be there unless they really give a push for these top 3. But yeah, watch out for Kamal Martin, man. He's a player. I liked him a lot, like I said. So we'll see. I was very shocked to see he was on your roster.
And that's a position because Shaq Thompson is not a true middle linebacker. He's more of an outside linebacker. So to be able to cover, get downhill, make plays, all that type of thing. So to have a guy like Martin and a guy like Brandon Smith to be able to compete for that inside linebacker position, I know Shaq is going to be out. He's out on PUP, so this allows them to really, really get more of these reps because they're going to need it to kind of weed out and see who's going to be that guy. But that is a name. Thank you, DJ, for bringing that up because we do need to watch it because everybody seems to talk about the linebackers like this is the worst linebacker core in the NFL. And I'm like,
but it's kind of it can grow.
Yeah, it can grow, but look at our linebackers the past couple years.
It's been a carousel though.
Yeah, but this linebacking core is much better than the last 2 we've had.
Yeah.
So So when I look at it that way, I got to be somewhat optimistic.
Yeah, I mean it's still the beginning, like you said. I mean, there's definitely some good prospects or whatever players out there that, like I said, Corey Littleton had a decent career so far, right?
Yeah.
Damian Wilson, same thing. Shaq Thompson, same thing. And then you got young players that look promising, right. Brandon Smith. And then you got also, like I said, Kamal Martin, that even though he was released, I don't think his career is over anyway. I mean, this is a second year player.
Right.
Second year player. 5th round pick, to say the least, because he was hurt with Minnesota. So once again, it's something very much to watch. And I do think that was a position that was weak the last 2 years. That going forward, it could be more solidified, So
yeah. Now, question here. We're gonna get into some of these other teams, and we're gonna get there shortly. Because a lot of people think we have the worst linebacking core in the South, and I'm not ready to say that.
It's between y'all and Atlanta.
I'm not ready to say that.
I am.
Because Corey Littleton, man, give me who's better on the Saints other than Demario Davis.
It was better.
Yes.
That is fair.
All right, then. So
that
gives
fair.
us
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's
the
Eric Wilson. Yeah, he put up some good. Hey, you got some. Hey, you can't shit on him. Yeah, but he's done.
But come on, man. Let's not act like Corey Littleton wasn't going. He wasn't
But Demario Davis is arguably the best linebacker in the division. So even if Eric Wilson,
we know it's Tampa.
Yeah, we don't gotta go there. The best tandem in NFC. I mean, shit, hell, arguably in the NFL. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Mike.
We ain't gonna act like Corey Littleton wasn't an All-Pro. We ain't gonna act like he wasn't Pro Bowl and doing stuff like that. I mean, he's had some success. I get it. He might not. He just had about 100 tackles, even this past year.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely. I get the conversation. We gonna highlight them all when we get to the Saints and we get.
We're second.
Atlanta.
That's the crazy part. I'm telling you right now. We say, all right. I'm gonna hold that. Yeah, we second, DJ. I can't. We got Shaq, Damian Wilson, and Corey Lewis. Look what all three of them did. Give me what the Saints or the Falcons have that had matched that. Well, we'll get into that roster. I don't want to keep. I ain't gonna do that. This ain't the segment. All right, so that's enough, man. That's enough. I do want to throw this out there. Then we'll move on to
Why is Shaq on the pup list?
Say what?
Why is Shaq on the pup list?
Why is Shaq on the pup list? He had a little knee situation. Are we freezing up right now?
No, we good.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, he had a little issue on his knee. So he wouldn't get that handled. He'll be back. He actually will be back ready to play a preseason game, but they're not gonna have him play. Derek back. Yeah, they're not gonna have him play. So shout out to my boy Pack. But that's all it is. It's nothing that's major. JC Horn, I wanted to admit that's why I was getting to.
Yep.
JC Horn
I was looking at.
is also on the pup. I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. And just breathe with me. This is scary. And I know it's just pup. But I'm going to tell y'all, man, I broke my foot, man. Freak accident, just playing ball. I just stepped wrong, and I thought it was just a little sprain. I tightened it up and tried to keep playing, and I broke my foot. And I still have. And this was Memorial Day, probably 3-4 years ago. I still have some pain. Cam Newton, look what Cam did and how long he had to come through with his foot. These foot injuries are no joke.
Oh, and I'll go a step further, Mike. Michael Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Thomas with his foot injury. And the reason why I'm mentioning it, because I watched the pressers with every team. But Michael Thomas is in particular, obviously. And he made it very clear. He had a decision to either get surgery or not get surgery. And he decided to get surgery. And that elongated the process of him fixing that foot from that break. So, JC Horn did get surgery on it, early. But everybody's comeback time is different.
Yes.
So I get I get it.
So we can't. It'll suck. And I don't even want to put it out there in the atmosphere. But we got to be mindful of this. And I know Matt Rule tried to say he wasn't going to be concerned. And all this is just a little soreness. I'm telling y'all, man, that foot thing.
Matt Rule be full of shit.
Oh, Lord, here you go.
I'm sorry, man. He do, though. Like, I understand he be motivated. I think he just do the pressers just to do the pressers because I think what he be saying be some bullshit.
Why?
I don't know. It's just I watch him talk. It's like I don't know. He seems like you say he seems a humble concern when I listen to him talk. I think he obviously loves his roster and everything like that, but I don't know. And look at him in his eyes. Just he just looks like a guy that knows that he had a conversation with your owner. Like it just looks like he got to get this right. And like you said, things like JC Horn, unfortunately, being he wants all hands on deck. Because, like you say, I want to win. I feel like he's very concerned about what the little things. Because, look, he's a third-year NFL head coach. Knowing he's going into a year that is going to be very important to him, he wants all hands on deck at the beginning of the camp so you can hit the ground running. That's just something I'm seeing from Rule. Like I said, I could be wrong, but it was something that I'm just gonna put out there and just know.
Yeah, it's I don't think Matt Rule's full of crap. Most people do.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah, most people do. They really do. They come from Matt Rule. They can't stand it. I'm gonna stand on it. I've been a Matt Rule guy. I'm a rock with Matt Rule. Shout out to Shelly Long. What's good with you, Shelly? I'm in a Matt Rule guy, and I'm gonna stand on him. Man, I think he's maturing as a coach, and he's sound, and he's doing things more like a head coach. And I love to see his growth and development, and I hope it translates to wins this year. I really do, especially for him because I think he's one of the good guys, and I want him to succeed.
Yeah, Slam Boy is not on the pub list, but
nah.
Wait till we get to the Saints. That motherfucker sensitive is a when you watch that damn interview, that motherfucker is sensitive, boy. It goes along with the Saints. Those are sensitive ass people out there.
Yeah, we actually about to get right into the Saints. Just want to say this: Keith Taylor is my guy. I love Keith Taylor. I've been talking about Keith Taylor. It's who I wanted in the draft. It was a guy I picked up late in almost every mock draft that I got. 6'3", 6'4", long, athletic. Got good size, good coverage. He's a dog. He's an underdog. He knows he's good. He comes from Washington. We know how these Washington corners are. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's pushing for that number 3 spot on the depth chart to take a leap over C.J. Henderson. I really like him a lot. So that is another matchup we're going to have to watch in camp.
What's going on, Shelly? Yes. You know, I like this team before Brady, so don't even come at me.
Yeah,
just share this. I've been around. Spinners. Oh, my feet right there. But yeah.
Reasonable though, Trail One. He does seem like he's growing with his veteran staff, and that's all I've been saying. I think I shared that with DJ as well, man. I said that's one thing when he came in, he had his guys. He had to lay the foundation. If you look at what's around him now, these are all experienced guys in the league that's had head coaching or offensive coordinator top roles, and I think that's going to help him even become a better head coach because he can lean on these guys, and he can allow those guys to just go out and do what they do best, and he can stand over and be the rah-rah guy.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
We definitely going to circle around back to this before I would just show, probably, take some more questions or anything else that y'all got about any of these teams that we're going over. We'll definitely go over it. But yes, we're going to move on to a team that Mike hates. I'm starting to see why. There are some crybabies, but I think they got a couple pieces that can change that. And also, Cam Jordan. He's a fun person to watch interview. It makes me sick because we took Adrian Claiborne over him. I was mad when we took Adrian Claiborne. Even with the deficiencies he had with his arm, we still took Adrian Claiborne.
Yeah.
3 picks ahead of Cam Jordan. He could have been a Buc. But with all that being said, there is a lot of change with this roster, and it starting with the head coach, Sean Payton, obviously being gone. And watch Dennis Allen today. He looks like he looks like a guy that's been there. You know what I'm saying? That was one thing I really took notice. He's like, this is my defense.
Yep.
And Pete Carmichael's been here since like 2009. We fine. You know what I'm saying? And he took command of that presser. Talked about Taysom Hill, a little bit of Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, which like I said, we're gonna get to Michael Thomas interview. I should have clipped this shit. I bad, but go back and watch Michael Thomas's interview. It wasn't bad, but he's upset that he's not known for being what he was. And, he hears the slant boy. He has to because he gets mad when you start talking about him. Oh man, like if you ain't see him, man. Oh man, I mean. He was upset. Cam Jordan was the chill, cool, calm collective. They also did the new safety. What's his name?
May.
Marcus May, he talked about his injury and everything like that, coming off of that, and he's, obviously he's ready. Tyrann Mathieu was excused from camp for personal reasons, not 100% sure, but he wasn't there at the beginning of camp. I think that's really, from a presser standpoint, that's what I saw. Mike, you got anything with the pressers, or you want to get these camp battles with these New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, like you said, Dennis Allen, he does seem like he's been waiting for this opportunity. It seems like he's been like Sean Payton's kind of been flirting with this for a little while, and he's just been waiting patiently for his opportunity to take over this football team. I think he's really looking to redeem his name because what's been out there is what the Raiders, 8-28 in 3 years. It was pretty bad. So he wants an opportunity to kind of change the narrative on him as a head coach.
Say that's not him.
Yeah, it's not him. So I think he's really he's going all out to be the best that he can be. And they got an exciting roster, man. They got some things that we need to kind of take a look at. But outside of go ahead.
I forgot to mention Jameis Winston. He did the presser as well. My bad. And Jameis, look, all Panther fans, excuse me. Oh shit, maybe Panther fans too. Everybody knows Jameis Winston, right? Jameis Winston is a high energy, funny, charisma, smart, something that maybe we don't want to give him credit for. Very smart guy. And, he's all in with the Saints, obviously. And, he's talking about Michael Thomas, potentially Hall of Fame. He that's what he does. That's what, he definitely is all team. And he basically did that. He talked about his injury, how he's trying to follow the protocol with that. But anybody that knows Jameis Winston, he probably plays through injuries he has no business playing through. And this ACL might be something to watch because Jameis can definitely be more harm than good sometimes to himself, just because he's such a team guy. Like he puts the team over himself, and it's gotten him in trouble sometimes with Tampa. But from the likes of it so far that we've seen, he's going the right direction, understanding his deficiencies that he had moving forward, and he just seems like a guy that's just ready to get back to football. He's tired of other shit that he's talking about. So I didn't want to say that about Jameis Winston.
Shelly, is he smart? I know I heard DJ say that too.
I mean, this guy, look, he was. You can't be a potential prospect for Stanford and be an idiot. A quarterback at that. Jameis Winston is not a dumb guy. You know what I'm saying? That by itself.
He just acts dumb. He just acts dumb.
No coach has said he's ever had issues with learning playbooks or nothing like that. He's not dumb. He's a very smart player. He does dumb things at times.
Yes.
But he's not dumb.
No, I agree. I like when at Trill, here you go. I tell this to DJ all the time.
Man.
I like when we play Jameis. So when I look at the Saints, I'm looking at them not like you look at them, because look who they got as the quarterback. I like Jameis playing against him.
Okay.
I don't think Jameis is dumb at all. I think Jameis is a highly intelligent man. I just think he just do dumb stuff. There are some people that have good book sense and just doesn't have much common sense. And I think he has common sense. He's just a product of a country Bama, don't know, he's just one of them guys. Bruce Arians called him dumb. I ain't heard that shit.
Yeah, we might tweet that to us. Now, I'll listen to it. Like I said, if he said it, that is far from, first of all, Bruce's character. So, like I said, if you heard it, hey, bring it. I ain't got a problem with it. If I listen to it, Shelly we'll shout you out. You caught this. Hell, we even play the quote. We'll put it as part of the live chat. I ain't got no problem doing it if I misspoke. But until then, that's my stance with Jameis. And like I said, so far 15-4 with the Saints, 4-2 if you don't want to count that 5-2. So
well, we know he had them interceptions against us.
Yeah. and that wide receiver room. I mean, the potential of that wide receiver room is very good. Obviously, with the three starting off: Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave. Chris Olave is getting rave reviews right now. They are very impressed of what they're seeing. Not only what he could do on the field, is his maturity. They're very impressed with that from what I've been hearing. in that locker room. And then obviously you got players on that back end. This is going to be a competition with this part of their roster is the wide receiver room. I mean, you got Marcus Callaway, who was a number 1 last year, now moved all the way to probably 4. Traquan Smith, another one they just paid. 5th receiver. You know what I'm saying? Then you still got Deontay Harris, who I think, or Hardy Harris, whatever his name is probably the safest on that back end because he's a special teams demon. I think he was an all-pro on special teams. He ain't going nowhere. And obviously they got the other players, the other Winston, what's his name? Winston, Quan Baker, Kevin White, that, obviously had that big catch against us that, he ain't do shit else outside of that.
I mean, he's what you call a first round or two?
Yeah, first round with the Bears and bust, period. So they're going to have some things going on with that. And obviously it's going to be a little competition with Alvin Kamara. I ain't going to say possibly. It's soon to be suspended Alvin Kamara. They got Malcolm Brown. Go ahead, Mike. Go and get into it.
Because you already know that's my top battle that I'm watching for the Saints.
Go ahead.
Outside of of course, the coaching, which I'm keeping a very, very close eye on, is the running back room. They have Alvin Kamara, who y'all been watching me long enough to know how I feel about Alvin. I wanted to draft him. I wanted to draft him badly that year. So it's not a surprise what he's doing to me because I've seen it coming. Alvin Kamara. They got Mark Ingram, a guy that's very familiar in the Saints, but he's older, that age, at 30.
In the wrong direction.
That thing hits real. They had Dwayne Washington, who's been there for them forever, who has a total of 554 yards and 1 touchdown in 6 seasons. We got Tony Jones, who's been the preseason star, but just can't get right in the regular season. So I know they're hoping that they're optimistic that he will finally figure it out this year. And they picked up Malcolm Brown yesterday, who was a really, really good pick, man. That's a guy that I liked with the Rams. I remember playing the Rams a couple of years ago, week 1. Cam Newton, that was his last really stretch with us. And he played good. He played because I think Todd Gurley was done with them. And I was like, well, who gonna Cam Newton? And so he came in and he was doing his thing. So I like Malcolm Brown. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to work with Mark Ingram, along with potentially Taysom Hill. I think Taysom Hill is going to get some of that action.
Very much, very much. Taysom Hill is now slotted as a tight end with this team.
Yep.
But Dennis Allen is very clear, part of the presser, that they're still going to use him the same way they've been using him. They're just not going to call him a quarterback anymore. Obviously, they got Andy Dalton out of free agency, and they have Ian Book there as well. They just said, you are a utility player for us, and that's exactly what we're going to call you that and put you as a tight end for now. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think he's going to go back to the role, and there's going to be no pressure of him being a quarterback. He could just go in there and be that utility player for the Saints.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the Cordell Stewart slash and whatever it was. Yep. He's going to be that. And if it happens to get down
Cordell Patterson.
Right. Yeah, or Cordell Patterson. But if it happens to get to that point, I mean, Jameis get hurt, they got Andy Dalton. That's the reason why they went and got Andy Dalton, so they don't have to utilize Taysom Hill as a quarterback if they don't have to.
Right.
So let him be one of the playmakers.
Right. And moving on from there, that offensive line is in flux. Tyron Armstead left in free agency. They got James Hurst and Trevor Penning, whatever his name is. Neither me or Mike were really high on Penning as a prospect. Okay, so to lose an all-pro, possibly, if his career keeps playing out, possible Hall of Fame left tackle. Like I said, in debate. It's a debate. Like I said, I ain't going to say he is or ain't, but he's definitely a high-end left tackle. So now I have James Hurst, who was a nice little player with Baltimore, but Trevor Penning's supposed to be the heir. Mike, I don't. I would say it's fair. They done this 2 years in a row with Cesar Ruiz too.
So. Yes. Yeah. Who's the? Is that their center? Did they use Cesar? No.
Nah, he was a center in college, but he also plays guard. But
right.
Eric McCoy is a
McCoy. That's right.
At center. So yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
But still, I don't. I was. We'll see.
It's going to be a competition.
I think yes, it's definitely going to be a competition there. I'm not too. We'll see. We'll see how they make this work. Poe Jameis, he ain't gonna get the Drew Brees line. He got to deal with it differently. Poe Jameis. Poe
We
Jameis.
should be used to it by now.
Yes, he should. All right, my last little one that I got, I shouldn't say little, is the linebacker competition. We all would know Demario Davis is probably he's one of the most underrated linebacker players, defensive players in general in the
In the NFL.
NFL. He just brings it year in and year out and just does nothing but produce, make big time plays, consistent, always on the field, giving lights out, a baller. So he is solidified. But that guy next to him,
Struggles.
yes, that guy Pete Warner is not a guy that I'm a huge fan of. I'm not gonna say he can't turn around and be a guy for a couple years for him, but I think that's a position that they want to push and upgrade. So they did draft DeMarco Jackson. And DJ, you want to tackle this one? You brought it to my attention, and then I looked at him like,
Yeah, along with obviously drafting DeMarco Jackson, which we already talked about, Aggie Pride. They brought in Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson is a veteran. He's played 4 years with Minnesota, and he also had a stint with Philadelphia and Houston as of last year. But with Minnesota, he had pretty decent production. He didn't start off too hot, but before he left, he had over 122 tackles that last year in a contract year, but Minnesota decided not to keep him. And he split between Philly and Houston, but Pete Warner hasn't earned nothing yet. This guy has put up production, so he's going to definitely compete because when you have somebody like, DeMarco Davis, DeMarco Davis, excuse me, you're good there. I just got to come in here and just play my game because there ain't gonna be a lot of pressure on me.
right.
And for Pete Warner to not really shine as much, and I heard from a lot of Saints fans, they're still in with Pete Warner. He has to come out here and have a really good camp because he's gonna have a little pressure because there's gonna be some other players out there that's gonna definitely want to fight for that spot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sold on him, but he was a rookie. When he rookie.
Yeah, you gotta be fair.
He
has to be fair about that.
Right, he has some room to grow. And this is what you want. You want competition because it's going to bring out the best. It's a guy that I will say this. I did want to mention this in the linebacker rooms. If Saint fans are here or if they watch this and that, what we're saying, Zach Braun is probably better than what you all think he is and want to give him credit.
Out of position.
This man is out of position.
Very interested to see him during the preseason, how they're going to use him. Because actually, I didn't watch him last year. I want to see how they're deploying Zach Braun. Because coming out of Wisconsin, he's like a hell of a pass rusher. And he was, the scouting report on him was 3-4 linebacker. Y'all making him a 4-3 outside linebacker. And y'all don't even have any packages where he even rushes off the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, y'all trying to make him a linebacker. So once again, he might be on the chopping block as far as we know. Because, they got other players that can fit more of a 4-3 scheme. Now that Dennis Allen is the coach.
Yeah.
He's seen him since he's got, he knows everything about him. So it's like that linebacker room is in flux, and it's gonna be some movement on that line. For the most part, I think the defensive line starters are set. There's going to be some competition behind there. I know they got Taco Charlton, Carl Granderson, who's been there for a little while. He definitely gets a little time. This other guy, Toa Cape, I call him TK. TK. Casapango.
Yo, I seen him flash quite a bit last year. Man.
So there's going to be some competition. Malcolm Roach in the inside, he's been there for a little while. So there's definitely going to be some competition on that back end. But the actual starters are probably solidified with Marcus Davenport, Oyamata, Shai Tuttle, and Cam Jordan. I don't think that's really going to change, but there's going to be competition on that back end, which they do like to rotate their line too.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
The corner. I mean, the secondary is pretty much set. Yeah, I think even his first two lines with that. I mean, starting with Boston Debo, he's a starter. Marshawn Lattimore, then he just get another paycheck. I think. I mean, I'm wrong. PJ Williams, Bradley Roby still there. CJ Gardner Johnson. I mean, quarterback room is straight. And then obviously they replace Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams. Well, I said, I'm starting to see that there's starting to be mentioned that Marcus Williams was better, and people are starting to say that. I said that early when they had to replace him with, Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu. Neither one of, Marcus May's on the field, but, obviously Tyrann. Shout out to you. Hope you everything with your life and everything's going well if you get on this field and get this smoke, because we coming for you. And that's it. Special teams about the same. You got anything else with that? I mean,
no, I don't have anything else outside of another guy I want to watch this off season. Pete Warner was a guy, and I want to take a look at Adam Troutman. It's a tight end that they drafted last year, 2 years ago. So this is his third year. So
he'll be competing with Juwan Johnson. He's gotten some time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little competition. Taysom Hill is what he is. That's really it.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. Well, let's move on to
the Dirty Pigeons. Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, man.
Atlanta Falcons. The team, a third-place team in the South.
Yes, the third-place team in the South. In my opinion, Arthur Smith is I think he's going to be a really good coach, man. To do what he did, DJ mentioned it, I'm mentioning it. To do what he did last year with that roster. I know he had Matt Ryan. He still had Matt Ryan. And they made some moves this offseason to improve. They improved their secondary with getting a guy that I always liked in Casey Hayward Jr. You got what's old boy that we like, Richie Grant at the safety position. They still got AJ Terrell. They got what's his name, Eric Smith, I believe, at the safety position. I used to play with Oakland. They got some guys out there that they filled some spots, man. The pass rush. I'm gonna just go right to it. The pass rush is the most important outside of the offensive line.
Their trenches. They got the worst trenches going into this year for the team in the South. Not even a question.
Yeah, they do, and they know it. Their fan base know it. The Atlanta Falcons homepage know it. They talked about it quite often. They talk about it a lot. So with the pass rush, they brought in 3 guys. These are all new guys, and they seem like they're going to have to play very valuable minutes, man. And these are my top 3 guys that I think they're going to have with the Atlanta Falcons. With the pass rush, number 1 being Lorenzo Carter. This guy's wearing number 9. I don't care what y'all say, that is significant. I see him on advertisement, pictures, things like that. So it seems like they want to showcase him as one of the potential rising stars that free agent acquisitions to help change this 18-sack team. And then Arnold Abacady.
There you go, Mike. That's what I'm talking about.
That they're really, really high on. And he wanted to be there, man. That's the thing about it. I was watching some of the draft process and watching his thing, and he was saying he wanted to be in Atlanta. He called his agent, called him, and was like, man, he really wants to be this and that. And so I believe they moved up in the second round to get him. So they're excited about having this young man in the development in Atlanta. So I'm excited to see what that's going to work out. And I know they brought in D'Angelo Malone, and that's another guy that's going to be in competition.
Yeah, he's more of a pass rush specialist. He has to develop a lot more of his game, but I think I heard it right. They're like, he's like a dog. Just tell him sick him. Basically that's basically what he is right now. And hey, for a team that only had 18 sacks,
there you go.
That's exactly what you need. Also to mention, everybody knows that Eddie Goldman retired. We were very clear about that on our last. As to why, go back and watch it if you want to. But they brought in Darren Daniels. It was a tackle out of Nebraska. Forgot where he came from. Where did he come from?
Um,
49ers.
yeah,
Playing for the 49ers. He played, I feel like 4 games last year. No, not a lot. I mean, he was an undrafted free agent.
right.
But look, the San Francisco thought he was good enough to be on their roster. I mean, this is a team that religiously has good defensive line. So
You daggone right.
it's something to watch. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're in Nebraska, and he's from Nebraska. Who came out of Nebraska? So I mean, look, that's where your Holly Moggs and your big boys are. So it might be something to watch with that. He's going to probably put a little pressure because once again, this is not Marlon Davidson hasn't really been that great. Trey Graham, still another player that they're waiting to really come out and be something. So there's room in this front for him, even as an undrafted rookie second year player, to break through. Because both of these lines are going to be highlighted for the Atlanta Falcons because this team ain't doing shit without either one.
Neither one. So they're going to have to overachieve to have some success this year, hands down.
Yes.
So that's why that's going to be extremely key. That's one of our top battles. I know everybody's like, oh, whatever, Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter. It's next.
They're going to get there.
So that's top. That I would say that's the next one to watch. What I found to be very interesting this in their camp is those were the only two that got reps.
Who?
Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter took all of the reps.
We brought up with me a little earlier about Felipe Franks. There's a possibility they might be looking at a Taysom-esque role for this guy. And they're just already saying these are going to be our two quarterbacks. They probably got some kind of can't meet, undrafted rookie out there. You're not going to really mention. They're just out there probably just to make sure somebody burns their arm out. But I wouldn't be surprised. They're just coming out of here with two quarterbacks, but also a third being a utility type player with Felipe Franks.
And that's what it looks to be. And if he wants to make this roster and continue to be an NFL player, he's going to have to not be Tim Tebow and go out here and make a change.
Yeah, he played for Florida, and he played for somebody else too, didn't
he? Yeah, Felipe. Yeah, he did. Florida, and then he went to
where are you going to?
Ian Book, Notre Dame. He went to I know it's off the tip of my tongue.
Arkansas.
I know it was somewhere in the SEC.
Because he got pissed off because he got replaced in Florida or something like that. Oh,
Kyle Trask.
Yeah. Oh, he mentioned that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
man, I do. Yeah, you still got Brady. But I think he's going to be a tight end. Filippo Franks is definitely going to have to be a tight end to make this roster.
Yep. And I guess the other battles that definitely would have landed on his offense is the running back position.
Facts.
Damian Williams brought in I know he played for Kansas City for a little while. Now with Atlanta, obviously Cordell Patterson, former wide receiver, now running back. I think he had 100-something carries last year. That's where you want to keep him. They don't want him to be a bell cow. That's why they brought in Damian Williams, who is a running back, and you got Tyler Aguilar, Algier, and Allison, who's been there forever, but he was there with the last regime, which I wouldn't be surprised might be a cut.
Yeah,
because Arthur Smith, he's probably giving him an opportunity, but that's not his guy. He brought in 2 other running backs,
right?
So,
and he's had his opportunity. What's this? Allison's 3rd, 4th year? This is going to be his 4th year.
Yeah, it's contract year. So
yeah, and he ain't, he hasn't done it yet. And I, like you said, I don't know. Anyway, that's enough about them and running backs. But I do believe you're right. Cordell Patterson is going to be the heavy guy. Damian Williams is going to take some of that, and they got in their guys that they brought in, and we'll see from there.
I think the wide receiver position, the top 3, obviously Drake London, 1st-round draft pick. Was it Brian Edwards, excuse me.
Edwards,
and Zacchaeus. I know I say his last name, I don't say his first name, but those are definitely their top 3. But for them to even shine, and obviously they got a bunch of players, which I'm ready to see shake out because I really don't know a lot of these players behind. Obviously, they got Damiere Byrd, which Carolina Panther fans are very familiar with. Yeah. Bounced around the league, back in NFC South. Allison, they still got Geronimo Allison. He's been there for a little while.
And then he come from Green Bay.
Oh yeah, he did come from Green Bay, so he's going to compete probably behind, probably maybe push Zacchaeus. I mean, I don't think he's going to really do nothing. I think Edwards is probably solidified, and I think Drake London is pretty solidified as well, being a first round draft pick. But for any of that to happen, Mike, this offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Goddamn offensive line that's been hell with the old regime, and now even Arthur Smith's like, damn, I got to get this shit fixed.
Yes, sir.
I think Jalen Mayfield is a player that's going to be pushed.
Yes.
They drafted a Drew Dahlman out of Stanford in the 4th round. I think that Stanford is one of those places where you get, some hollymogs in those mid-tier areas, and he's a player that, once again, Arthur Smith drafted. So I think he's going to push for that, and apparently he might be pushing also Matt Hennessy because he can play both of those positions. So he's definitely a player to watch. Caleb McGarry, you better watch yourself too. They brought in Effendi, Jermaine, whatever, Effendi, former first overall, 31st, I think, overall drafted player out of Seattle. Caleb McGarry so far hasn't lit anything up, so he's a former first round draft pick as well. Yeah, there's going to be a battle at that right tackle position. Jake Matthews pretty solidified, and Chris Lindstrom has played pretty well as well. I don't think either one of them are really doing much. But yeah, those are going to be a battles to try to start patching up and fixing this line, I think.
Yeah, hands down. I agree. So that's going to be interesting to watch, man. And it's going to be funny because the Falcons' pass rush and D-line was so bad last year, and the offensive line was last year too. We're not going to truly know who's improved or better when they compete.
I mean, you just want the position to look better because, like I said, players have been let go. Like I said, even with defense, Marlon Davidson, I liked him as a prospect. He ain't looked like nothing so far with Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And Dan Pease has a pretty good system.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good defensive coordinator. So,
yeah. You're right, man. There's a couple things I want to touch on before we wrap up, unless you have something else, man.
Go ahead.
Troy Anderson is a guy that I really want to watch at that linebacker position for Atlanta.
Deion Jones is on the PUP list. Forgot to say that.
Yes, he's on the PUP list. I still feel like they might be trying to trade him. They brought in a guy from Tennessee that is expected to be the guy.
He's an Arthur Smith guy.
Yes, he is.
Sean Evans.
Sean Evans. I was about to get to his name. Evan. Can he get out? But Marcus Mariota was talking about him even in his press conference interview about how he's just a football player. He's just everywhere, knows everything. He just soaks in so much, and he's just such a football player and a leader out there. And that is an Arthur Smith guy. And so Deion Jones sitting on the sideline, can't get out there playing. You brought in him. You got Troy Anderson. Those more fit the stature of the guys that he wants. That's very reminiscent of the Tennessee defense.
And that's what he's trying to do.
Watch out. Watch out for that position this offseason, linebacker.
And we talk about Tennessee Titans defense. I mean, arguably the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
He played 4 years there, and they can't keep everybody in Tennessee. That's one of the main reasons why he's not here. He had 4 years, and I think this is a gem that the Atlanta Falcons got. And somebody that knows Arthur Smith, and he's going to mold very well into Dan P's defense. I mean, it's a 3-4 defense. Tennessee plays the same type of defense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that can change the face. Like you said, Troy Anderson, very nice looking prospect.
Yeah,
I know he played like Division II or something like that, but hey, if you watched him play, he was a man amongst boys.
Yes,
out there. So
everywhere.
That's a position that might really grow with the Atlanta Falcons quickly. And like you said, Deion Jones, there's a good chance they might try to get some capital. Because Arthur Smith's trying to change the face of this team. He's been building it. Hey, you got to give him credit. You got to give Arthur Smith credit for what he's doing.
Yeah, you really do. You really do. And that's what I'm saying, man. He's not only just a good coach, he's subtly doing things that I respect, just building a roster. Like, this is a guy he's familiar with that knows he's going to produce. I mean, he's been in the league 4 years and got 317 tackles. That's a lot for 3 years. I mean, this is production. He has production, something that they on a very good defensive team. You bring that guy in, he's going to have, he's going to be a leader. He's going to be the voice. You know what you need.
He knows what win looks like. He knows
Yeah,
what
right.
good defense looks like. I mean,
you know what you need. And then, like I said,
he's in the prime of his career too.
Right.
Like, he's still young.
He's still young. He just finished his rookie deal.
Yeah, he's 26.
26.
He's 27 during the season.
Yeah, man. So I really like what they've done. They subtly have got players. And if Eddie Goldman would have stayed around, they would have really been a sleeper in their offseason moves, man. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not attractive. But to me, it just seems like it's great fit guys that's going to help turn this team around and bring a different attitude and mindset and build a foundation. Atlanta's interesting.
And this was a team that went 7-9 last year. This is, like I said, Arthur Smith and they don't roll over. They ain't gonna. And we looked at this and said this might not be the strongest roster, but again, we said this last year, but they still penciled out 7 games.
Yeah.
So another year, and that was the rookie year of that coaching staff.
Right. That's what's impressive.
The Panthers watching.
We got veterans now. We don't have. Shout out to Joe Brady though. Joe Brady almost hooked me with a PlayStation at the retail price. I thought it was bluffing though, but he sold me $550, and I didn't jump on it in time. So by the time I was ready to jump out, it was gone. But shout out to Joe Brady for that. Other than that, I mean, you live and you learn. You're back in college. You'll be back. Just take your bumps and losses. This was a move that was just too much for him. And I love Mac. I really, really love Mac doing this staff. So, and not saying he would have been my first choice of everybody, but y'all gotta understand where we were at, man. This is an improvement.
Oh, it definitely was. I mean, Joe Brady was not ready. I mean, he wasn't ready. Definitely wasn't ready. And yeah, so I guess that's basically the outlook of all these teams, man. Obviously, preseason games don't start until what? I mean, you got the 4th, obviously. There ain't no Bucs. Obviously that's Jags and Raiders to kick off the preseason.
Yep.
And Falcons will play on the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah. I think like everybody plays on the 12th.
Yeah, everybody plays on the 12th.
But no, the Saints play on the 13th.
Well, y'all play on the 12th.
We play on 13, 7:30. Dolphins.
I could have sworn it was the 12th. Or maybe it was just us and the Falcons.
Yeah. So we're what, 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
I think we're 2 weeks.
We are. We're 1 week away from the Hall of Fame game. And then another week and we got football.
Right.
Whew. And y'all think Baker going anyway.
I don't think Baker what?
Gonna just instantly come and be the star. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that like I said, I think hey, this is Sam Darnold's job to lose.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah, I agree. We play on the 13th. Everybody plays on the 13th. Except for Atlanta. Atlanta plays on Friday. I thought so. I was like, man, I knew we all. Yeah, so we play at 1. Tampa plays at 7:30. Saints play at 8. I'm going to watch I know it's preseason, but I'm watching.
Oh, yeah. If we're watching the condensed, see if anything pops out. But we got time for that.
Facts. But you're right, man. It's Sam Darnold's job to lose.
Yes, and man, so much with the South, man. Let me see. I like Winston. I like we play Winston as your old coach. Like I said, I wish I could. Bruce Arians is out there on that cart like he always is. I saw pictures of him.
Yeah.
So he out there. He just ain't in a coaching role, apparently. And I'm interested to see, man.
Yeah, I am too, man.
Like I said, Todd Bowles. I mean, I think he's gonna thrive and shine. I think he's been waiting for another opportunity.
Right.
Similar to Dennis Allen. Obviously, I mean, they were both with dumpster fires, but yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think obviously we got the more ready roster, so we're gonna get the best out of Todd Bowles.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a fun season. Everybody picks up again tomorrow. Practice. I will be paying close attention to all the Twitter, ESB, whatever I can get, fate, whatever. Every video footage, information, the websites, all of it. Because at that
Look out
time,
for us for tweeting. Yep, look out for the tweets.
yeah.
The buck stops here. Look out for them tweets. I'm coming.
Yeah.
You know, if y'all want me to follow y'all, go ahead. You know, put your Twitter name in the comments or follow me at Twitter. The buck stops here because it's gonna be on and popping.
Yeah,
it's on and popping.
Yep. So, hey man, this your boy Mike Ricks. As you see, I'm your Carolina Panthers representative. This was fun. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Training camp is here. Hey, just pay attention. I'm gonna try to break it down with the time slot. So if people want to come back and watch, you can just click on the link or the team and just hear what all the stuff about that. But thank y'all for rocking with us this long. It was fun. Got a lot of excitement. A lot of guys to watch, pay attention to in the South because it's gonna be tough. Atlanta Bucs just got much better, but it's gonna be fun.
I ain't gonna say we already got the title, but we already got the title. But anyway, we ain't gonna go there. We got plenty of time to get hurt, and so much that can happen. We got first day. Oh, second day. The second day. Yeah. 26 is when everybody got here, but first day probably on the field for many. Right. I also want to see Christian McCaffrey with y'all, man. I want to see, is that boy going to stay healthy? I guess we'll get into that next week. Yeah. Before we're going to preview the preseason games that's going to be coming up. Look out. We might throw a couple extra videos out for y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I know y'all been trying to get us to do a couple of off-camera videos, so Mike, we got to bring it, Mike.
Yeah, we're definitely bringing
it. We got some stuff for y'all. We got some NFL talk and NFC South talk. We're going to get it.
Because I want to unload on some stuff, so I'm gonna go on a little video where I just kind of unload Panther fans. So be on the lookout for the unload video.
Well, I guess I'm gonna do my excitement video because what's there to complain about as a Bucs fan, man? What is there to complain about?
Here you go.
I guarantee it's probably out there. I don't know why. Maybe I should and find me some comments and some information out there. There ain't much to complain about if you're a Buccaneers fan. Ain't much to complain if you a Saints fan. Saints think they are where they're at. Hey, I'm just saying they're not complaining. Obviously, they got things they got to worry about. There's players that they got a lot of injured players coming off. I don't know why they wouldn't be a little concerned, but they got players all over the place. So many things are different, and Atlanta's just steady Eddie, just continuing to try to grow because there's no expectations for them. That's the one team in the South. There's no expectations, Atlanta Falcons. So y'all could just continue to grow.
How do you? Well, okay, you're right.
I mean, compared to
you're right.
The Carolina Panthers, third year for Matt Rule, flames on his ass a little bit. So there's a little bit. There's Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, Tom Brady, Super Bowl bust for the most part. I mean, if you want to put pressure out there for them, that's really what it is. There's nothing. You got to win this division, and you got to be one of those teams coming down the stretch, or else this is not a successful season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The New Orleans Saints, same thing. You got possibly one of the best, quote unquote, which everybody likes to talk about, is their top three wide receivers. They're starting to be mentioned as one of the elite defenses in this league, and Jameis Winston. Atlanta Falcons are just building. Nobody in their mother is talking about the Atlanta Falcons even competing for anything in this division.
Nope.
So let's get it. But
you're absolutely right, man.
It's your boy DJ, Tampa Bay Buccaneers representative. And that's all I got, Mike. You got anything else?
No, man. Stay tuned. See us next week. Be on the lookout for some more videos. We might do a pop-up live. You never know. But if not, stay tuned. Be on the lookout. 9:30 week training camp is here. Football is here. Every day is going to be something. Somebody's going to say something. Talk about we going to have something. So I might have to come back with them ride-alongs. Before I go off, I want to throw a little shout out for another nugget. If y'all are here watching, Panther Nation, keep an eye on the tight end position. Tommy Tremble is going to come into his own, and he's going to take over that number one spot. I guarantee you. Ian Thomas is going to be utilized a lot more. But there is a guy by the name of Jared Scott that played at Wyoming with Josh Allen, and he also went to Idaho State transfer. He's like 6'6", big athletic baller. Be on the lookout for him because he could turn some heads and create mismatch matchups. But I think it's, another little cat battle to watch. Anyway, man, much love, much love, much love. Thank y'all for rocking. We will get at it. Be on the lookout. NFC South versus the NFL. Peace.